Hey y'all, so I saw that the Michael Cohen testimony hearing today in front of the Congress was really popular on the blog today, so I decided to make a video and do a quick recap for those of you guys who didn't get a chance to follow me on Twitter or who didn't get a chance to watch it, or maybe you did get a chance to watch it and you just want to talk about it. So it was a 7-hour marathon hearing, which consisted mostly of the Republicans frothing at the mouth and having a cow about how awful Michael Cohen is. He's a criminal, he's a common, he's a liar. All things that can be said of Donald Trump, by the way. And nobody should believe him. Which, I'm trying to figure out how they reconcile this. So, we're supposed to believe that Cohen is guilty of lying to Congress. Now, his crime of lying to Congress was lying about a Trump Tower Moscow deal. So if he was lying about that, then that means that the truth of the matter must be that he was actually dealing with Trump Tower Moscow for much longer than he claimed, which is consistent with Trump's lie. So if the truth is that Trump Tower Moscow was a longer term type of project, then that by default means that Trump is lying. So I just don't understand how the Republicans think that Michael Cohen is a liar, a crook, and criminal, and you wouldn't also exactly say the same things about Trump. Trump is individual one. Trump is the person that directed Cohen to make these illegal hush money payments in the case of Stormy Daniels, which, by the way, the Republicans didn't even challenge the veracity of that. They just tried to deflect about Cohen and his taxes and all this other kind of stuff. We don't care, okay? We know that Cohen is a scumbag. He's a bad guy. He's getting off easy if you ask me. But you know what? I'm still here for the tea. It doesn't matter whether I like you or not. A lot of people have this whole bleeding heart. Oh, I feel so sorry for him, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel sorry for goddamn Cohen. He's a criminal. But he's a criminal with details and receipts against Trump. And that's what I'm concerned about. So anyway, then you had the Democrats. I think the Democrats generally did a good job of getting important things out of there. Like, for instance, now mind you, Michael Cohen spilled all the beans in his first opening statement. So that was about 10 pages of just, oh, Trump is a con man, he's a racist. He said that black people are too stupid to vote for Trump. No, that's called discernment. He told all kinds of stories. You know, he talked about catch and kill. That was in his opening statement, but throughout the hearing. What else did he talk about? He talked about just how terrible of a person Trump is. And I thought the Democrats, generally speaking, did a good job of getting some details, but I don't know if they used their time as effectively as possible. There were some really big threads that I felt like were not followed up on enough. For instance, one of the Democratic Congress people said that, asked Cohen, are there any investigations involving Trump that we are not talking about? Meaning stuff that's not in the public domain yet that we don't know about. And Michael Cohen said yes. And Elijah Cummings was like, the time has expired. Dude, let him talk. And nobody picked up on this. I think that, you know, a big part of these hearings, they are about theater. They are about innuendo. And so the fact that nobody kind of, you know, picked up on that thread and let stuff dangle out a little bit about what could he be under investigation for, I thought that was a missed opportunity. But I did like the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and I know some people get on her case. I did like that she picked up on some things. I mean, I like that she picked up on the fact that Trump, you know, lies about his assets. He inflates it when he feels like it, and he also deflates it. More importantly, he deflates his assets when it comes to evading taxes, and he inflates his stuff when it comes to insurance claims. And so I think that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did a masterful job of kind of leaving some dangling threads out there, you know, asking for corroborating witness, asking for lines that they should be investigating. So she did an excellent job. Ayanna Pressley, I thought she did a great job too of talking about the charitable works or the foundation's corruption. We do know that the Trump Foundation was shut down by the New York state in a settlement for their terrible practices. So I thought that there were a lot of good moments and a lot of revelatory moments. And, you know, to be honest with you, we don't know if it's going to have an impact. I do think that it is smart to start focusing on things outside of Russia. I saw that Eric Swalwell made a comment to MSNBC saying that people don't care about these hush money payments. They care about Russia. First of all, no, that's not true. We do care about anything that involves illegal activity by Trump. He is an unindicted co-conspirator in the Southern District of New York. That is relevant. Our president, or y'all's president, is not supposed to be an unindicted co-conspirator, especially when that crime was a crime committed in the process of trying to get elected to the presidency. So I don't know if the Democrat strategy is to try to make it all about Russia for some people, to try to skirt responsibility and accountability for the fact that maybe they don't have the political balls to go impeach Trump. But you did have somebody like Rashida Tlaib before the whole meltdown happened about Mark Meadows crying tears about the racism stuff. She did talk about how we don't need Mueller to see that there is criminal activity. And Michael Cohen is definitely proof of that. He had receipts. He was credible. And I think that pursuing some of these other things, particularly the stuff that's Southern District of New York is pursuing the Trump inaugural committee and the funds that were being completely corruptly used there. A lot of the activity, it needs to be pursued by Congress. There needs to be real oversight. It can't just be about waiting for Mueller. We don't know when we're going to get a Mueller report. And we don't know if Mueller is going to really tease out some of the more important questions that we have. We know that Rod Rosenstein, who's currently the Deputy Attorney General, was stating that he doesn't think that anything that isn't proven beyond a reasonable doubt should be included in the report. Well, I don't think that that's adequate enough. We have a different standard for the presidency. It's just not beyond a reasonable doubt. That is a criminal standard for impeachment. That's not the same standard. So anyway, I don't think that we learned a whole lot new from the Cohen hearing, but it was very dramatic, was very entertaining. And I will just close out on the note about Rashida Tlaib. I appreciated her coming to the defense of Black people everywhere, which she talked about how inappropriate and how it could be perceived as racist that Mark Meadows of North Carolina was using a Black woman, Lynn Patton, as a prop. Now, Lynn is a witting co-conspirator, okay? But that's beside the point. The point is, it is incredibly offensive to trot out a Black person and say, this Black person works for Trump, therefore he's not racist. That's ridiculous. And she rightfully pointed that out. And of course, Mark Meadows had a meltdown. You know, I'm so tired of people manipulating the conversation about racism and making it seem like the accusation or the act of racism is not the problem. It's being told that something is racist is the problem. And so I was a little disappointed that Rashida Tlaib backed down from that and apologized way more than she should have. Next time, Rashida, here's my tip. Say, I said what I said. And that's all that you need to say. You can't argue with these people. And I was disappointed too in Representative Elijah Cummings, who vouched for this racist. I mean, the guy pulled the my nieces and nephews are Black card. Meanwhile, you were a birther talking about we're going to send Obama back to Kenya. I was disappointed in Rep. Elijah Cummings vouching for this guy who's, if not a racist, sure walks and talks and quacks like a racist, okay? So that was disappointing. And I also thought that Rep. Elijah Cummings missed an opportunity to close and finish strong and weave together all these parts that were threaded throughout the day of the Michael Cohen hearing. But one thing's for sure, this is not the last we're going to hear from Mike Cohen. It's not the last we're going to hear from people in the Trump orbit about his corrupt activity, his illegal activity. And you know what? Sounds like impeachment is right around the corner if the Democrats have the guts to do it.